You see that hole in the motherfucking ceiling right there? That's the first shot. The second one I won't fucking miss. I promise you. Try me. I won't miss. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I won't miss. I will not fucking miss. I won't miss at all. I will not miss.
You want to stop?
I don't give a fuck, nigga. You think I give a fuck? I don't care. Get the fuck off of me. I don't care. Let all you motherfucking hoes know you in a motherfucking relationship now. Now. Let them know. 5, 4.
Are you in a relationship, man?
No, look at the camera. You in a relationship.
Are you in a relationship?
Welcome back to the Men Too podcast. I'm Ayo CONSACO, fearless leader of Ayo Nation, and of course the Men Too movement. The Men Too website will be up momentarily. It will be operational in a couple of weeks here. As soon as I fucking go look at the guy, if I check the damn link, I just be getting caught up with so much goddamn shit. And also, tomorrow I go to court and we're gonna find out what's going on with what. I'll talk more about it after the shit is over with, whatever like that. But after that, we will be able to do the Ayo Nation donation show once again. And so that will be love, because I appreciate everybody who's been continuing to donate. And that's like, I just, you know, I understand that y'all don't, you know, necessarily want to be shouted out. You don't do it for the shout out and shit like that, but I gotta show love back and shit like that, and we'll definitely start that back up as soon as I God willing I beat this case tomorrow. Y'all, I'll tell you more about it after this, but this is another show of an example. That's the name of the show, an example, until we find a better name. All right, on today's episode, as you saw, also, shout out to my nigga Rambo Woods out here putting in that fucking work. I'm gonna put it right here. Let me put a fucking clip in here so y'all can see what my nigga out here doing all the way up in Kansas, Wichita. Is that what the fuck is it called? Wichita, Kansas? Somewhere in Kansas, man. Check him out.
You taking young men's life away from their kids. Time is short. Time is all we got. We can't waste it. I lost my sister passed away last July at 16. You know what I'm saying? Life's too short. You know, taking time. That's big facts. That's big facts.
No doubt.
Big facts podcast.
All right, Man too, man. Man too. It's all about the love and unity, man. No doubt. You got something to say? Shit, I gotta go get some more flyers. We down to the last 3. I only took half the bag, so I should have got more. Hey, yeah, this my little brother. That's what it is,
this
man.
My little brother, you know what I'm saying? He out here helping me network and shit, man.
That's what it's all about, man.
We don't do nothing without each other.
Yes, sir.
We together all the time. The rest of us would have been here.
That is my nigga. Shout out to Rambo Woods. Y'all go check him out on all social media. Also, if you have not signed the change.org petition for the Men Too fucking petition, go to change.org and sign the Men Too petition. We need 10,000 signatures before I go to where I'm going in August. So we need y'all to make sure that after you sign it, do not donate to the change.org website. If you're gonna donate, go to the GoFundMe. All you have to do is go to GoFundMe, Men Too movement, and you can donate there, show your love and shit like that. We have a goal over there, and that's gonna fluctuate, but we have a goal set right now. Not sure what it is, but it's a high goal, and that is definitely for the retaining lawyers and shit like that. It's really to show motherfuckers that we really have power behind us and we can make shit move. So make sure you donate to that and show love. Do not fucking donate to the motherfucking change.org site. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yes, make sure you show your support after you sign a petition. Share that motherfucker. You're not done after you sign the shit. After you buy your Men Too t-shirt for $20 by going to paypal.me/AreYouSerious10, that means you start the work. That's not where the work ends. That's where the work starts. You got your shirt, you sign a petition, you donate to the GoFundMe, or don't go donate to the GoFundMe. Get out this motherfucker and start spreading the word. Whether it be through the flyers, which the true Men Too members already have their flyers and they're out there in the field. But if you want to join and you're thinking about, you know, actually taking that next step in being a Men Too foot soldier, you need to, you know what I'm saying, abide by the standards, which is sign the petition, get your Men Too shirt, now you're in uniform, and let's go forward. Then you have to be vetted by me, but if you with this shit, you with it. But let's get down to this shit, man. Damn it. This bitch. So what do? First off, fuck that dumb shit. Hey, what I'm calling for is the arrest of Miss Brazil. Her name is Miss Brazil on the fucking Instagram and shit like that. I'm calling for her arrest. Unlike the Me Too movement, where it's only a witch hunt for successful men, what we're doing here the Me Too movement is a witch hunt for successful men, and they get them fucked over with no fucking evidence, merely hearsay. What we do here at the Men Too movement, we give the fucking authorities all the evidence they need to make a true arrest. If this was a fucking dude that held a fucking girl captive while telling her what the fuck she was gonna do and say to the fucking camera, he would be arrested immediately. It wouldn't be no funny shit. It would be, let's go find him. So what I'm doing here is giving you exactly what you need. And this is another bitch. We put Cardi B on the slate. We put Ari on the slate. Now it's Miss Brazil. And the Men Too movement is calling for an arrest in the next, you gotta excuse me, I'm looking at when he tried to wrestle the gun. That could have got his whole motherfucking head blowed off right then. But I'm seeing comments where this shit is funny. We're calling for the arrest in this whole within the next 24 to 36 hours. I'm giving you everything you fucking need. If there's no arrest made, that means that this is all good. It's all straight. Everybody can do it. So I don't expect for any man to be fucked over by this bullshit right here. Because I'm hearing that the backstory, which the backstory shouldn't fucking matter, because no one would ask a backstory if a nigga did this to a bitch. So the backstory don't matter, but the little backstory I'm getting is something about
See that hole in the motherfucking ceiling right there? That's the first shot. The second one I won't fucking
it just would not be an episode if the fucking TV did not come on.
I promise you.
Y'all shouldn't be able to see the mic, but it's right here
I will not fucking
on my collar.
I won't fuss at all.
The same mic I used in that 3S commercial. If you have not seen the 3S commercial, I suggest you go watch that motherfucker so that you can get your life in order. All right. As I was saying, another thing you notice about this whole, really, the niggas that when y'all put yourself in these situations, understand I don't give a fuck about this nigga and this motherfucker, because
no, look at the camera.
I do though, because the nigga sound like he fucking like he deaf or he got some type of fucking go listen back to it. The nigga sound like he like can't hear what he's saying, or like that nigga got right when that gun went off though. Dog, what I noticed about these bitches, dog, is this is with every light skin. If you're light skinned and you don't take care of yourself, what's wrong? What happened? What's wrong, boy? If you're like, this is Aki, obviously. Aki done got big. He get jealous of the other puppies being able to come on the show, but he don't get to come on. If you light skinned and you don't take care of yourself, then it just like if a nigga punch you or if a bitch punch you, it's gonna show more than if a motherfucker punches a dark skinned girl. You understand? So when you don't take care of yourself and when you just drinking drinks and eating hot Cheetos like Young Miami and shit like that. Shout out to Katrina Gibbs. Subscribe to the Conversation with Me podcast. She said this. She said Young Miami was on her live and she said that she don't drink nothing but sodas and shit like that because water is nasty. And then she said like I know that her pussy stink because she don't drink no fucking water. If you don't drink no water, like your body can't, you need water. It purifies your body and shit like that. So he's a fucking big baby. I gotta do the show now, Aki. Okay? I'm not a puppy no more. You heard? Alright, go ahead. Go ahead. Get on the couch. There's no way that you're going to, your pH balance is going to be off if you're not drinking any water. And just in my professional experience with hoes, like fucking hoes, dog, a dark skin, like dark skin, brown to dark skin hoe, they pussy be tighter. And I don't think I've run into I'm not finna say this shit, dog. I'm not finna say I ain't never had a bitch, had a dark skin hoe who pussy stink. Do we want to talk about that? Y'all want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Cause as I'm thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've only had one hoe, and that was a white bitch who pussy stank so bad, like that I like actually pushed this hoe off of me and shit like that. But what stank pussy though? What stank? Like what's? Cause pussy does have a like it. I smell pussy. Is that you? Like it has a smell. But I have fuck hoes that don't got no smell. So is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Fish has a smell. Does fish stink? Chitlins stink, but that's their natural smell. So can you say that? We'll say that conversation because I you know, that's because that really is like. Odors is one of my fucking, that's really one of my fucking pet peeves. That is really one of my pet peeves. Like, if your breath stink, which it looks like this whole breath stink, if you look at it, it definitely look like her breath stink. Light-skinned girls don't age as well as dark-skinned girls either. And that's, and so what they try to compensate with that fucking makeup, and that don't do shit but goddamn accelerate the fucking aging process. You putting all this extra weight. These bitches put 2 pounds of fucking, you know what I'm saying, makeup. But back to what I'm talking about. Let's get back to the fucking point. My nigga, you look at this whole goddamn Instagram, it ain't nothing but ass. And it's not even that kind of ass, you know what I'm saying, that she got loose booted, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't firm, so like, you know what I'm saying, you will like gripping that shit while you fucking this hoe. You know what I'm saying? However you fucking this bitch, you know what I'm saying? That hoe be riding, you just squeezing that shit and it damn near come through your fingers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or just fucking this hoe from the back and you want to see some movement. And it feel better when that ass be soft like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just, you know, but that's a fun hoe. You know what I'm saying? That's a fun hoe. And who I was just talking to, and I told motherfucker, like, dog, if you got it, know what I'm saying? If you still running around this bitch, I was actually talking to and I gotta start. We gotta get that shit going. Man, if a motherfucker gotta lie to a hoe and tell a hoe, oh yeah, we go together and shit like that, we exclusive and shit, my nigga, you really not like that for real. You not that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because all a bitch want is a relationship. A hoe will look past your flaws and shit like that if you in a relationship. But if you got this bitch just on standby like that, this hoe really gotta choose. Yeah, I don't mind. A bitch wouldn't mind. A bitch would actually be honored to be T.I. side bitch, Kodak Black side bitch. I'm not gonna say Denzel Washington because he don't really, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? You would love to be one of them niggas side hoe. A nothing ass bitch would. But even a bitch with a mind, but that's a nothing ass bitch to me because you plotting. You know what I'm saying? Like you just trying to get into the organization so you can get like you would do anything to get promoted. Like it's really it's a lot of dynamics to that side bitch shit. Like a hoe will be a side bitch. Excuse me, I never call a hoe no bitch. I never disrespect no hoe like that. A bitch will be a nigga side bitch and shit like that. Because she sees what she sees is I'm gonna be this nigga main bitch after a while. You know what I'm saying? Like cause he really love me, whatever like that. Like he's affectionate towards me. He just with that hoe for business, but I'm really the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the niggas love their mistresses and shit like that. But that's a whole nother thing. That's how it's supposed to be though. Know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be, yeah, you know, I got an old lady and shit like that. And the bitch supposed to say, if you that nigga, she supposed to say, I don't give a fuck. That what she supposed to say. Like a hoe ain't supposed to, and that's a hoe. I'm switching mindsets. Like if you that nigga and you living that life like that, you supposed to tell a hoe, yeah, you know, I got an old lady and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Baby mama, she steady. You supposed to be able to tell this hoe all this shit you got going on, and that hoe be like, what the fuck they got to do with me? And that's a nothing ass bitch. That's a young Miami. You know what I'm saying? That's a shit, nigga, shit, ain't nothing to me. She'll run it like that. But a upstanding. But see, even with that, it's like, how did you meet this bitch? How did you meet this hoe? Bitch, I'm sorry. How did you meet this bitch? Did she walk up to you? Like, why was it even necessary for you to tell? Well, it could be that. You could be out here looking for a side bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like you run down on the hoe, whatever like that. Like shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you like that for real. Like what we doing? You know what I'm saying? What we got going on? Let's do it. Like, oh, I ain't with that shit, whatever. Well, you know I got an old lady and shit like that, but shit, they ain't got nothing to do with it. Oh, I don't give a fuck about the old lady. We can do it. You know, like that. Or she could be there approach you and shit like that. But if a bitch approach you and say she don't give a fuck about your old lady, when you that nigga, some should ring off in your head like this a setup. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so hard being that nigga, because when you that nigga, hoes is gonna come, but you gotta have that discernment to know which one of these hoes, you know what I'm saying, is really here for me because I'm that nigga, and which hoe is really here for me because I'm that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like on that Mona Lisa shit. Go check out that new Mona Lisa song by Lil Wayne. You got to be aware of that shit. But then when you have an upstanding, really, if you got that discernment, you really shouldn't have no misunderstandings, meaning you run down on a woman thinking that she's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You should really know that that's a woman, okay? Because when you running down on a bitch like, you know, like let's do it, what's the word? Let's do it, what's the word? Let's do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really talk for a strip club or for a club and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't for a corporate setting or Planet Fitness, Anytime Fitness and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's really for, you know, let's rock. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. Why this is important is he has played this game all the way backwards. all the way backwards. And this is why I have to implement the 3 S's and why they're so fucking important. The 3 S's ensure that when it's time for you to go find you something, after because the 3 S's is what you use to become successful. Now, once you become successful, now you can start, because your eye is trained. I don't need anyone. I'm set up. I don't need anyone. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that I'm with, hey, I'm not pressed for, you know. So now if you jump out the box and try to fuck on the first night, whatever, you're not the one for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not the one for me, because you're not like that. The person I'm looking for is not gonna leap without looking. I'm not at that point to play with people like that anymore. The person that I'm looking for wants to analyze a situation before, you know what I'm saying, going into it. And you can't analyze me within one fucking day. Even more to it, if she doesn't require you to wear a condom. You can tell what type of sex people are having by the reaction that people have. As you can see here, you know that they're having unprotected sex. So there may be different ways to look at it, but there's only one way to truly look at it. If you caught him cheating, which I don't understand, because the story goes that she fucked his brother or some shit like that and had an abortion or some shit like that, but she worried about him cheating. And when you got a household like that, when both parties aren't sexually satisfied, you have a breeding ground for STDs. Or maybe it's not even, I'm not being fulfilled sexually, it's more of the best sex is sex that we shouldn't have. The best sex is sex that we shouldn't have. I honestly, dog, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was never really my shit. Like, I'm a fucking nigga. I think I probably went through that phase when I was 20 or some shit like that. Like, yeah, and I don't fuck nothing but married hoes. I don't fuck nothing but hoes in relationships and shit like that or whatever. But it was just like an arrogant ego thing, whatever. Because I didn't like being in a nigga's house. You understand? I didn't like being in a nigga's house. Like, that wasn't really, like, if I'm gonna lose my life, like, let me lose it in the way a nigga supposed to lose it. Like, let me die in a shootout. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, on some like gangster shit. Let me go out in a blaze. I'm not going out on no flim flam shit. I wasn't supposed to be here shit. Like, let me die on some, you know what I'm saying? That nigga went out like a gangster nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know bullshit. I nigga fucking nigga. No, I'm not rocking with that. But that does, and you know, that's why white hoes like to get choked and shit like that. I'm about to die. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to die. And it feels so good when, and even you got these white boys who like it's asphyxiation orgasm shit, like when they like choke themselves and shit and watch porn and shit. I think I seen that show on like CSI. Motherfucker died. He was hanging himself from the closet door or some shit like that. And he died. Like he died right there, but he was watching porn. Crazy shit. But it's just like that taboo shit is what we, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, I'm not really on that shit no more. Like, I mean, you know. But that's too deep. Right here, what I really want to point out, if I can, to the ladies, what you need to understand is, first of all, the reason why she's a nothing ass bitch is because you're having to force. You can't force a nigga to be faithful to you. It doesn't work like that. And if you like, just take any woman that you hold in high admiration, like Megan Good, like do you think that she has to force a nigga to be faithful to her? You put a gun to a nigga's head and tell him, like, to tell the bitches that he's in a relationship. Like, that's what makes, like, a nothing ass bitch is a bitch that operates on a child's mindset. Like, you're a fucking kid. If you're older than 15 years old, like, you can't physically make a nigga be faithful to you. Actually, I mean, and that's with anything, like nobody. You can't, even with a child, like, you can tell your daughter what the world is and what her body is, which is why you should have a mother who is working with you and not against you, so that y'all can not have a 13-year-old pregnant daughter. Bad bitch. Dog, like, do you see, and Big C said that shit too. He said time exposes everything. On this whole Instagram is nothing but ass shaking and twerking and shit like that. Like I said, it looked like she fucking, man, I hope that bitch look every bit of 40 years old, dog. This all I'm saying, like, dog, if the nigga, time reveal everything. So if you all on the Instagram, all on the Facebook, all social media and shit like that, acting like I'm just a bad bitch, but we gonna see, like, how you truly feel about yourself when shit like this happen. You feel like you're entitled to a motherfucker to be a servant to you, and that shit bothers me so fucking much, dog. Like, because she with the gun, she motherfucking, you think motherfucker, this dramatic, like, I'm going, like, how do you have swag? You have swag when you, like, when you showing a nigga on bending knee begging you not to leave him and shit like that. Not because the fuck he lives with you, but because you live with him and you're threatening to leave. Swag would be a nigga putting a gun to your head and telling you that you can't leave him. Not you forcing a nigga to be with you. Like, what kind of bad bitch has to do that? Plenty of niggas want me. What the fuck? Are you sure? Hey. It exposes insecurities. All on social media, just swag and just a bitch. I give a fuck by the nigga. But you on this bitch holding a nigga at gunpoint. And that's like I said, that shit gonna stop, dog. I'm calling for the goddamn arrest of this fucking Miss Brazil bitch. She from Charleston, North Carolina. So Charleston, North Carolina PD, let's go ahead and get a fucking armed criminal off the fucking streets. All this motherfucking swag. You hoes need to stop raccoon eye just like Cardi B. Another thing that you hoes don't understand is that you should really try you don't even understand. This I don't like this because it reminds me of a bitch, of a light-skinned bitch that I fuck with, that I tried to explain to her how unattractive she looked when she got mad. The same thing that this hoe is doing with her eyes, like when they open their eyes real wide and shit like that. Just a dog ass bitch. Look at this bitch. You allowed this bitch to play up under you. She played right the fuck up under you. She found out that you was on a run, that you had a warrant, that you couldn't call the fucking police. And this how the fuck you get dead. This is what happened when you give up your manhood. This is what happened when you give up your manhood. I'm homeless. I ain't got no car. My family don't fuck with me. I'm a junkie. I'm on the run. She played right up under you, and she bought her a nigga. She bought a nigga. That's what she did. So now, when her property doesn't do what she told her property to do, she gets extremely fucked up about that shit. And a bitch will allow you to fuck her raw just so she can do shit like this. Like, oh, now I don't give a fuck about the nigga, bitch. You put me in motherfucking jeopardy. If that's the case, then, bitch, then why in the fuck don't... Suck it! Why in the fuck don't you just leave? Why in the fuck is you... Like, that's... But you're not gonna say that you paid for it, but that's what it is. And you have such low self-esteem that all them niggas that you claim that want you and shit like that, but you not built like that for real. You not built like that for real. And see this, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you niggas. Like, how does that make you feel when the bitch you with, she say something to you that you know just is not true? Like, I can have any nigga I want. No. But you can't say it because you not in a position to, you know what I'm saying? And she knows that, so she can say some bullshit. Like, nigga, I don't even know how I fuck with your little dick ass anyway. You can't even talk back to this bitch. Because she bought you all your, you know, if you walked out the house right now, you would have to walk out broke, and you would have to walk because you ain't got no fucking car. You ain't got no clothes, you ain't got no car, you ain't got no money. She buy you all your dope. Nigga, you stop fucking with this hoe, you'll damn near be dope sick. If you ain't had this hoe, nigga, you would have been had to sober the fuck up. And that's what the fuck I'm trying to tell you, dog. Motherfucker, just, you gave up your manhood. She played right up under you. Money ain't a thing. Now when she do some shit like this, not only is you on the run, but nigga, you can't do shit. You can't leave the hoe. She know you can't leave. You her property. This what happens. You can't even have your phone locked in the house. You can't even get mad in the house. You keep trying to get it up. You trying to run it up. You trying to make something happen, but nothing works, do it? It just won't work. It is every time you get a little something, you just can't. If I got this much, I can put this with her shit. So you still at your mama house. You still can't be on your own. You left one mama house to be at another mama house. Except this mama make you fuck her. I can only imagine the shit that this whole man be putting you through and shit like that, but you can't do shit about it because you need the bitch. And that's how the fuck they want us. I'm not gonna go too deep in that shit, but it's a reason why they give them everything. And they just playing us weak because they know that we will not just step outside and just do our own shit. Because we don't want to go through that ugly phase. We want the dreads, but we don't want to go through the ugly fro phase. Sad song. I'm calling for her arrest because if it was a hoe, you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't matter how fucked up she was, motherfuckers would come to the rescue. I'm calling for this whole arrest. Miss Brazil, Charleston, North Carolina. Let's get it done. Me and Two Podcast. I'm Ayo CONSACO. Make sure you hit the GoFundMe. Make sure you hit the PayPal. See y'all in a minute. Love.